So, have you ever stood in front of your closet and thought to yourself, this is a complete disaster? Nothing looks right. You can't find anything. And 9 times out of 10, you probably don't even know where to begin to find anything or to put anything together. But what if I told you that it's actually not a disaster at all? What if I actually told you that it's actually a sign of your evolution over your life for a minute? I want you to think when you were in high school, when you were in college, when you got your first job. Each of those times and parts of your life, your style also changed. When you're in high school, you dressed one way. When you went to college, because you were around and in a different environment, you began to change again. And then from your first job, and so on and so on and so on. Now, somewhere along the way, you got stuck. And we are all guilty of being stuck, me included. And because of that, our style ends up taking a back seat. Now, when it takes a back seat, because of course life happens, but we still grow and we still evolve into the person that we are actually wanting to become. And so I want us to begin to reframe our style and being stuck in these style disasters or style chaos. And I want you to really think of it as that your style has not caught up to your growth. And once your style catches up with your growth, that is where, when you come into your closet, everything will then begin to feel right, and it will not feel or look like chaos in the amongst of everything. So instead of asking, what is wrong with my clothes or what is wrong with my style, I want us to reframe it and then now ask, what is this stage of life requiring from me? Is it simplicity? Do you need to get rid of the 50-11 clothes that you have to make your life simple and easy? Is it confidence? Do you need to go into spaces and places where you feel that you shrink, but you need to take up room and you need to take up space, but your style is hindering you from doing that? These are the questions that I want you to ask. I then want you to really sit and think and say and think about with yourself, what is this inner voice in me screaming? What is it trying to tell me? How is it trying to help me with getting and dressing like the next level version of me? Because 9 times out of 10, we hear the voice, but we ignore it. And when we are ignoring it, I need you to ask this question: why? Why am I ignoring the voice inside of me that is telling me that I need to change my style for this particular season of my life? So what you think of as a style crisis or a style emergency, it's actually an opportunity. It's an opportunity that you can now match your growth with your style. And it's not going to be easy because your growth is probably 3 to 4 steps ahead of your style. And now it kind of has to catch up. And many of us think that this is failure because it feels like our clothes and our style is failing us, but it's not. I actually want you to take this as an opportunity to figure out what it is that you like. Figure out what this next level of evolution requires of you when it comes to dressing. Because when you do that, what you'll find out is, and this is probably what we're afraid of the most, is that the style that we think we should have, because of what society and people around us think, is not the style that we actually envision for ourselves, because it is our personal growth, our personal evolution. And we don't want people to look at us crazy or think, well, why would you put all that together? But when you do, and when your growth and your style finally collide and match, I promise you, you will literally fall back in love with your style and your wardrobe again. So instead of fighting the change or even ignoring the change, I want you to lean into it and I want you to embrace it. And I want you to be sure that you download my guide in the description box below, because it will literally help you with seeing exactly what's wrong and creating your new style story. I think when we look at style, it is always the last thing to go, or the last thing that we ever think about, or the last thing that we even consider that actually may be wrong in the larger puzzle. But I want you to look at your favorite style, your favorite celebrities, and see how their style has evolved and changed throughout the years. Some were great, some not so much. But if we begin to do that in style, we will be able to look back over our style stories and see how far we've actually come, and just see how our confidence has changed. Our personalities and now actually match our styles. And always remember to think and listen to the voice that is trying to tell you something, and not ignore it, because that is where your actual next level of style is. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Stay healthy, stay safe, and if you're ready to take the next step, be sure to watch one of these next 2 videos here. And remember, your style story never ends, it always evolves.